Hello, my name is Alexis Hunt, and I decided to do my critique on egoism. Egoism is considered a good action if it is concerning one's self-interest. The two types I done mine on was psychological egoism and ethical egoism. Psychological egoism is a thesis that we are always motivated by what we perceive as in our own self-interest. Ethical egoism is the normative view of how we ought to act in one's self-interest. And there are three different types: personal, individual, and universal. Personal is I'm going to act how I want to act regardless of how anyone else feels about it. Individual is that everyone should act in my self-interest, which is selfish. Universal is each individual should act his or her own self-interest. Two major egoist thinkers, Ayn Rand, Thomas Hobbes. Ayn Rand in 1957, she wrote the story Atlas Shrugged, which questioned altruism, which is a value of an individual's action depending solely on the other's individual, regardless of the consequences. She believed we did not need to return to morality, and we needed to discover it. And she considered her new source reason. But in my opinion, I do not agree, because in the notes Mr. Carter wrote, it questioned that we knew murder, theft, and lying was wrong, but in her opinion, she says this does not benefit oneself. So I do not really agree with that, because it's not a way that we should think. This is just a quote. She says, "I'm not primarily an advocate of capitalism, but of egoism. I'm not primarily an advocate of egoism, but of reason. If one recognizes the supremacy of reason and applies it consistently, all the rest follows." Thomas Hobbes, the last, he believed that all people are selfish and that they devoided any feelings of sympathy or sociability. And to him, humans are only worried about making themselves happy, which is also selfishness. And to sum my presentation up, I found a quote online from Frank Lee, and it says, "Egotism is the anesthetic that dulls the pain of stupidity." Basically, to sum this up, I believe egoism is just pure selfishness, and I do not agree with either of Ayn Rand's reasoning for murder, theft, and lying. It all consists of selfishness to me, and I do not agree with this. Thank you for watching.